What's up guys, and John with you guys again. This is part 2 on the paper RPG-7 tutorial. Last time we left off, we pretty much making the main freaking gun. As you can see, this is just 4 long paper tubes, and then this little tube on the front, which is going to be the rocket. And then we made this cone. So basically what we left off last time is, I said make a mark, but I pretty much know. But basically, while you're fitting your tube inside the cone, wherever it stops, you're pretty much gonna want to make wherever that cut is. Like wherever it stops, you're gonna want to kind of know where that is. So if that makes any sense. So basically, instead we're gonna actually make this the back. So what we're gonna want to do is cut the back of this. Make sure that's not big enough. Instead we can actually just do this. Yeah, we can just do this instead. Putting the cone inside the actual tube and then cutting it flat like this. As you can see, that cone turned into this kind of it's still kind of like a cone, but make sure that this part is bigger than this little part. Make sure that this can fit into the tube, and wherever it stops when you're putting it inside the tube, you're gonna want to tape it right there. Or like you can slide it easily, and wherever it stops, you're gonna want to tape it right there. Hopefully that makes sense. As you can see, guys, it's not just a tube, it's got this kind of, like, I guess, outward cone feel. Now with another piece of paper, you're going to want to do the exact same thing. Long ways make a tube. This is going to be the front of the rocket. But make sure you need to kind of roll it, and make sure that this small part is closed, like, sharply closed. I'll show you what I mean. It doesn't have to be completely closed, but basically like this. Like, hardly seeable, tiny little thing like this. As you can see, it's hard to see in there, but make sure it's like that, and then you're going to want to tape it like that. So, some tape it like that. So yeah, guys. Let me know your suggestions for other paper gun tutorials in the comments. I've been getting a lot lately. Thank you guys for that. But like I said, I just don't have a lot of time on my hands. Once the summer comes around, which is obviously still a while away, or maybe a Christmas break or whatever, I'll be hopefully making more videos then. But yeah, so as you see, you have this giant tube, or this giant cone. As you can see, the bottom is pretty much pointed, and then it goes bigger and bigger. So now what you're going to want to do is make sure that you cut the big part of the cone enough, pretty much like this part, so this cone area fits inside this other cone part that you stuck onto the tube, like so. So pretty much like, see if we can make this look better. Pretty much like this. As you can see, it goes outward a little bit, and then it's like that. So now what you're going to want to do is, actually this is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to want to stick this inside. Basically, when you have that, you're going to want to tape it. Also, if you want, make it straight. Don't have it like curved upward like that. Oh, it looks good. Make it, straight with the tube. See, so fitting it inside is kind of a hassle, at least for me. But for you guys, it should be easy. And then once it's straight, which is not straight, there we go. Once it's straight, you just want to tape this tube to this other cone, or I keep saying tube. Tape this sharp cone on this other cone. Dang it, this part is really pissing me off, but you guys know what I mean, This is being ridiculous, but It's not going in how I want it to. Because whenever I make tutorials, they always don't look as good as when I actually make the gun. Because I don't want to waste too much time. Alright, so yeah, you get the idea. Pretty much tape this cone part onto this other, really cut cone part onto the tube. So now you have this kind of rocket looking thing that you can hopefully stick into the front of your gun, like so. So yeah, you have a rocket, as you can see. Mine isn't straight at all, but hopefully your guys' is. So yeah, it can slide out decently. It doesn't just like fall out, it kind of slides out. So now we're going to work on the back, which is pretty much a giant cone as well. So, let me see if this fits actually. See if this fits at all. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit off camera, trying to make sure this fits. This is a little too big. Basically, you want to roll up another cone. I know there's a lot of cones now, but roll up, another cone like this. You don't have to make it as pointy at the bottom as you did in the last one, but make it decently kind of pointish. Like, just make sure that this part is big, like quite big. So, kind of like this actually. So, once you've got that, just tape that, so it stays. So as you can see, you have this cone. Pretty much with the back of your RPG, you're gonna want to cut it enough, like cut the sharp end inward enough, so that, oops, we'll get that in a second, but make it so the back will barely fit in there, as you can see. So you cut the sharp end off and make sure that this can fit inside the back of the RPG, as you can see. And then what you're going to want to do is at the biggest point, just cut it straight across, as I'm doing. And then just tape this part into the back of the RPG. So it'll have like another cone effect. This doesn't really happen a lot often in the guns I make, but RPG just has that for like the stock and the rocket itself. So yeah, guys, as you can see, you have the cone and the freaking long gun, and then grab the rocket. You have the buttstock, as you can see. It's like conish, and then the front of the gun, you have the rocket that you can fit inside. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much the basic RPG right here, and it's very, very long. I just advise you right now, it's about 4 feet, which is quite tall if you think about that. And pretty much we're just gonna add a whole lot of detail. I'm not sure if I made this a little too long or a little too small. I highly doubt RPG-7 is longer than about 4 feet. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. This is quite a long gun. So now what we're going to want to do is work on the sights. Now the sights are quite simple. You can actually get some scratch paper. That's what I'm going to do. And basically what you're going to want to do is make it so you get a strip of paper and cut it about as long as your index finger is. So luckily this paper is just big enough. And also make it about half as big as your index finger. So make it about this big. This is going to be the front sight, by the way. And then, as you can see, it's about as tall as my index finger and about as half as my index finger. And then at the top, you're going to want to kind of curve it out. Like so. I curved it out. And now what you're going to want to do is kind of fold it across like this, so you have it. You're going to fold it in half, and you're going to want to make the design of the front sight like I do. So about halfway up, you're going to want to cut like so. And these sights are from memory, hopefully. I'm kind of looking at a reference picture of what the sight looks like, but like the looking of the sight, but not the, never mind. Basically, this is how the front sight looks, kind of like that. And for extra detail, if you really want, you can make these little, just like, or not little, my bad. Kind of make this long, here, I'll show you. This long box, as so. This is for extra detail if you want to. Now with this, you're pretty much going to want to tape this to the front, the very front of the RPG. So what I recommend is taking out the rocket and just taping this on, the top of the front of the gun. So this is kind of a tricky part. I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm not showing this, but whoops, tripod was falling for a second there. And it's the sights are actually quite large as well. So as you can see, this is the front sight. This is quite large, but that's what it looks like. And the back sight is about in the middle of the gun, or a little closer to the front sight in the middle. But we're gonna leave off right here. We're gonna work on the front sight, or the rear sight, and hopefully the handles for the RPG-7. So I'll see you guys in part 3. Tangerine Boy out.